The attic was always a place of mystery for young Ian. Dusty beams, cobwebs hanging like ghostly curtains, and the scent of forgotten years lingered in the air. It was a part of the house no one cared to visit, yet it called to him that afternoon. The rain outside lashed against the windows, thunder echoing like heavy drums, while the rest of the house sat in silence. Curiosity pulled him up the creaky wooden stairs, each step groaning beneath his weight. The attic door stuck for a moment before giving way with a sharp squeak. Puff of stale, old air rushed past him as he stepped inside. He squinted into the dim light where broken furniture, trunks of clothes, and stacks of old boxes stood like silent watchers. That's when he saw it. Sitting upright on a wooden chair in the far corner was an old doll. Its porcelain face was cracked, the once rosy cheeks faded to a ghostly pale. Long, angled hair fell over its shoulders, and its glassy eyes seemed to gleam unnaturally in the shadows. And froze. The doll was out of place. He had been in the attic many times before, sneaking around whenever he could escape the watchful eyes of his parents, but he had never seen this doll. It hadn't been there yesterday. Still, something about it pulled him closer. He inched forward, dust swirling around his steps. His heart drummed loudly in his chest as he bent to study the doll's face. Its glass eyes seemed too lifelike, too focused, as if they weren't simply painted but truly watching him. He swallowed hard. "It's just a toy," he whispered to himself, but then he moved. Just a small step to the left. And the doll's eyes followed, and gasped, stumbling back. His breath caught in his throat. He blinked rapidly, convincing himself it was his imagination. Maybe the angle of the light. Maybe his fear playing tricks. To prove it, he deliberately walked across the attic, eyes locked on the doll. And yes, its head didn't move, but those eyes rolled ever so slightly, tracking him. Cold sweat ran down his back. He spun toward the door, ready to run, but his foot snagged on an old rug and he fell, crashing into a pile of boxes. Dust exploded around him, and for a moment he coughed and choked. When he looked up again, the doll was no longer on the chair, it was on the floor. Closer, and scream caught in his throat. His limbs felt heavy, refusing to obey. The doll now sat only a few feet away, its cracked porcelain lips twisted in a smile that hadn't been there before. The attic seemed to grow colder, the shadows thickening as though the light itself was being swallowed. The doll's smile widened slowly, impossibly, revealing a row of tiny, needle-sharp teeth where there should have been none. Ian scrambled backward, his hands shaking as he searched for something to defend himself. His fingers closed around a broken wooden plank. He held it up, heart hammering, though he had no plan of what to do with it. The doll tilted its head, the smile never fading. Then it spoke. "You found me." The voice was soft, high-pitched, like the whisper of a child, yet it echoed unnaturally through the attic. Ian dropped the plank in shock. His throat tightened, and his legs trembled. What do you want?" The doll's glass eyes blinked slowly. "Play." Suddenly, the attic door slammed shut behind him with a deafening bang. The sound echoed like a gunshot in the confined space. The latch clicked on its own, trapping him inside. The doll moved again, no walking, no crawling, just a blur, peering closer, inch by inch. Its pale fingers stretched toward him, joints creaking like bones grinding against stone. Ian screamed and hurled the plank at it. The wood splintered across the doll's face, knocking it backward. Porcelain shards scattered across the floor. For a moment, silence filled the room. Relief surged through Ian's chest, but then, from the broken pieces, something black oozed out. Thick, tar-like shadows pulled across the floor, twisting and writhing. The shards of porcelain began to stitch themselves back together, the doll's face reforming, the smile returning sharper than before. Ian pounded on the door, his fists raw, his cries echoing through the house, but no one heard. Downstairs, his parents carried on, unaware of the nightmare unfolding above them. Behind him, the doll whispered again, closer now, its smile stretching unnaturally wide. "Now you can't leave. Until the game is finished." Ian turned slowly, terror locking him in place. The doll stood just inches away, its hand reaching for his throat. The attic lights flickered violently, the air buzzing with static. His scream pierced the silence, then cut off abruptly. The next morning, when his mother finally opened the attic, she found nothing but dust, broken boxes, and the doll, sitting quietly in its chair. Its smile was wider than ever. If you enjoyed this story and want more chilling tales, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell icon, because you never know what story will haunt you next.